That's what's up. What's up? What's up? All right.
What's
Welcome to
good,
another
y'all?
episode of We Brooklyn. What's good, people?
How
Everything's
you
good.
doing? Chilling.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We're a little hood. We're educated. We're elevated and a little bit ratchet. But welcome to the show. So,
Mm.
okay, Brooklynites, what's really good?
Same old shit. Just grinding it out, enjoying this extra little summer weather.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
more
too.
weather.
I just see you got on my dashiki. I'm ready for the Africa weather.
Yes,
Oh,
and
I ain't ready
happy
for all that shit, man. You talking Africa weather? You doing too
you went
much,
straight
man.
from every time we talk to you, as you have problems with the heat. First
He
it was
always talk about
I
the
I
can't
heat.
take a
can't.
little bit of heat, but I
I take a
understand
little
that caramel
79.
is, first it was just summer. Now she's trying to bring Africa to you. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it completely.
Oh God.
Yeah, it is officially June, so happy Pride Month, Shout out to the LGBTQIA plus community. We've got nothing but love for y'all over here. You see my sign in the back. Okay. All right. So
That's what that's about?
well, no, it's really just I love Brooklyn, but it just so happens that it happens to have all the colors of the
Oh,
rainbow.
okay.
It's all
Okay.
in love. It's all in love. We don't discriminate.
Okay.
All right. Um, so yeah, let's just get our topics off and started because we got a very open-ended discussion that we're going to end with tonight. So that's going to be very interesting. All right, so let's get it started. Biden acknowledges the 40th anniversary of the AIDS pandemic. Uh, he stated on Saturday that he's going to commit $670 million to fight the infection. And Dr. What is his name? Dr. Beneducci. I know I just messed that up. Dr. Ducci.
Fauci.
Gucci?
Fauci.
Fauci. Yeah.
All the way off. My bad, Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci stated that he thinks that we'll be able to fight this pandemic and resolve most of the issues regarding the AIDS or HIV by 2030. What are your thoughts?
A little too late in my book, if you ask me. Like, shit fake. It's all fake to me. I ain't gonna hold you. Like with this pandemic shit, they with the COVID, niggas done came up with vaccinations and all that shit within a fucking year. This AIDS shit been out for I can't tell you how many years with credible people saying that they had the cure and we still here. Uh, I don't even know what that means. Acknowledging and shit. I don't. What does that mean? He acknowledged. How is that news? I don't understand it. But you know, mm, I don't know. I ain't got nothing else to say on it.
That's is always pushing the button, boy. I tell you.
My bad, sir. For sure. Acknowledged it.
I mean, it's kind of true. How do you acknowledge something like it's here, like it's been here, like it's what 40 years,
Right.
right? Like, how do you acknowledge something that's been around for 40 years, killing millions of people? It sounds silly in a sense.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But the eradication of the disease, I think, definitely is long overdue. You know, I just think, in particular AIDS and like cancer, um, it's just unfortunate it's so profitable, and I
Mm,
don't think there really was a lot of people talk what they talk, but I don't think, pharmaceutical wise and some other, controversial things that it really was people were really trying to eradicate it. You know what I mean?
facts.
Maybe that's what it is now because they have other things like corona and stuff, other things that could take you out faster, you know, or people are infected uh, for a longer now the the medications have people live longer. I don't know what it is, but um I just know that I know too many people who have passed away because of this particular disease. in my own family and things like that. So I've definitely been there front and center seeing what this disease does to people. So I think I think S is so right. It's long overdue. Um, you know, yeah, it's just, come on. Technology, everything we have, we should have had a cure a long time ago. There was no urgency around a cure. And I believe probably by 2030, there's probably going to be a cure, because probably there is a cure already, or now they're going to actually,
right.
yeah, or they're going to actually now really try to develop something, So it's sad, actually. I think it's sad. It was a sad announcement that it's going to be, like acknowledged, as though millions of people haven't died. And also, it's just sad. I thought it was a sad announcement.
Well, I'll tell you this. I have two parts of it. On the serious part of it, the fact that it's like the 40th anniversary of this pandemic, that damn near speaks to pretty much all of Generation X, right? So that's one thing. And I feel like out of all the pandemics, that attack the body, AIDS is one that they kind of, even though it's sad because a lot of people did pass away from it, they have made longer strides on that, to me, than they have on cancer, right? So there's that serious aspect. But then, when I remove that, because, I am the ratchet one here in this group, it's like they finally put the right dick in somebody's ass to get them, motivated to get this infection and pandemic resolved. They finally put the right dick in the right ass to finally get it done. Who knew? If we knew it would take that long, we would have done it sooner.
I wonder if I
really
wonder
a killer, really the dick in the right.
It has to be the dick in the butt. I'm gonna just put it like that. It's the dick in the butt, not the dick in the box. It's the dick in the butt, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because to a certain extent, and this is another conversation that we're gonna have later, when it comes to male privilege versus female privilege, right? Especially white privilege, and then you have white male privilege, right? When white males are motivated to do things, in their favor, it works faster. When their dicks aren't working, we have Cialis, we've got Viagra. Now we got a new pill that you don't even have to swallow called Blue Chew and shit. Okay, and you can take it any time of the day. They resolved that limp dick thing real quick. Yet they still have not been able to resolve, all of these prime things that are going on to these other pandemics that affect people and diseases that affect them worldwide. Now, I know that pharmaceutical companies do make money off of it, but I'm just saying, be creative, just like they did with COVID. There are other things that you can make money off of people. Why keep them stuck, like with these same disabilities, diabetes, the list goes on. So to me, it's all motivated by, who's to gain from it. And, they finally, unfortunately, had enough of people possibly in power or in the right positions, that were like, damn, this is affecting us now. We really have to do something about it. Right? Because if it was just still killing off homeless people, and if this was still just considered a gay disease, which was wrong from the beginning anyway, or just something that was just killing off Black people, best believe it would not be acknowledged, and it for damn sure would not have a resolved cure by 2030.
So you think that the HIV virus has risen in the white community? Because I was still under the impression through statistics that it was still more predominantly in communities,
African American communities, right? No,
yeah,
I don't believe that is only because, listen, we only account for about between 30 to 40% of the population, really more close to 30. So if that is the case, then how are the numbers so high medically if white people are supposedly the ones that are really benefiting from medical care the most? Because we don't will go, right? Because we're either scared or we're not getting enough health care or we get turned down from health care. So who the fuck is really going in there to get the medication? Because it ain't all the damn black people. And if we are going to get something, we going to the corner, you know what I'm saying, to see rerun Ray Ray and them to re-up on some other stuff that you can't get in the pharmacy anyway. So, you know, like at the end of the day, my whole thing is that the numbers are always skewed, excuse me. They're always skewed, you know, statistically to whatever, you know, whatever argument someone is trying to make regarding the war on, you know, AIDS or HIV or whatever the situation is. At the end of the day, there are definitely more people that are white that are infected with this disease than there are black people. Now, are our numbers higher and our smaller percentage? Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact that you're talking. That's a fact.
Unfortunately, yes, it is. And believe it or not,
no. It's a fact that more white people are affected. Just numbers wise, not percentage wise.
It is. Yes, it is. All right. People are they're walking around here with a couple of different things, more over everybody else. Again, you have to look at population. We account for 30%.
That's true.
They account for the other 70%. I'm gonna tell you right now, every 1 in 4 people has a possibility of having herpes. Who's the biggest population in the world? And start counting motherfuckers off. Who you think you're gonna have more in the 4s? Black people or white people?
Yeah, herpes is one thing, but I'm talking about AIDS.
I understand that, but I'm only using herpes as an example, you know, as an example of probability.
So what are you saying, Akila? You're saying basically when they're writing off, which I do understand statistics and what you're saying, so I'm just trying to get a clear picture. So you're saying basically that because statistically or percentage-wise, say we're like 30% of the population, and then say other groups are like, say another, you know, 10 or 15 or something, right? So then you have what should be the overall majority group, they say, in America, right? So then you're saying when they say 30%, when they give the numbers, that is still in percentage to how many people are in your population group. So how many Black people, if you say 30% or 40% to a population of 50,000, and then you have a population of 100,000, and you say, you know, 20% of 100,000, that 20% of 100,000 may actually be more people than that 30% or whatever of the smaller group. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that is correct. And the reason I'm saying that
is, you get what I was saying? I'm sorry.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I'm trying to figure out if that's true.
That's why I'm just trying to get. I'm just trying to get.
I understand the concept of it. I'm just saying if it's 100 people and we are 30% as Black people, and then it's another group that's 10 mixed other races, and then I guess there's 60 white people. Is it true that out of the 60 white people and the 30 Black people and the 10 other people, that white people have the majority of the number when it comes to AIDS? I don't know.
No, but it still depends on how you screw the numbers. You know what I'm saying? And you still have to look within that population. See, it'll be different if they said something like, okay, let's look at the numbers within New York City. Because even when you look at the numbers within New York City, there's still different levels to it, especially now when everything is very, very much more integrated than it is, let's say, like 10 to 15 years ago, right? So 10 to 15 years ago, if you looked at AIDS and you looked at the population in Brooklyn versus Harlem, and I know this because I'm a sex educator, and I was in Harlem at the time. The numbers were higher in Black populations, but that was only amongst Black people, right? And even though there were white people living in those Black neighborhoods, they were still like 1-2% to the, you know what I'm saying, 80, you know what I'm saying, the 89 or the 99% of Black people that were living in that neighborhood at that time, right? You can't use that same statistic today. that's also the problem with statistics, is that people will use old statistics and still try to count them as factual day-to-day statistics. You can't do that when the numbers are constantly changing. You can't really count on a census, right? So you really have to go by who goes into health facilities, how these people are being, helped. Are the people being helped? Are they getting the medication that they needed? What is that? What is that number looking like? And then again, you still have to decipher. Can a lot of African American people afford to get their medication on their own without Medicaid and Medicare? And if you do not have an HRA plan and you are, an actual working person, can you do it? If you're a illegal immigrant that is affected with HIV or AIDS, can you walk into the pharmacy and get medication? Some cases you can. In New York City, you can. Can you do the same thing in Wisconsin? You see what I'm saying? So again, those stats are always changing. Everything is always changing on a different level. So just to say that, oh, Black people have bigger numbers, I would never believe that, because we're not even most of the population. You cannot even, no. Nope.
Yeah, but the only reason I say I believe that, I've always believed that, is because it's been 40 years and niggas ain't make a dent in that shit. That only to me happens when it affects us the most. If it was
Not
the other way
necessarily.
around, I feel like they would have been did this shit. I think the
I'm
only
gonna say
reason
this,
they even acknowledging it is because people like myself have said, so how the fuck y'all come up with a coronavirus in half a year? A vaccine and AIDS and all types of other shit ain't been touched. And like, it's one of the reasons why I'm a non-vaxxer, because it's like when y'all came up out there with this shit out of your ass, either y'all had it already or y'all making shit up, because where's the big medical push for the rest of the shit that been affecting especially our people for the longest?
But that's
I
the
just
thing.
don't
They
buy
did
it.
have it already. They did have it already. They've had it for years. And I'm going to say this, on a professional level, I have worked with people that have been infected with AIDS and HIV, right? That is discreetly their business, but then also as a sex educator, you engage in these circles, you know what I'm saying, of empowerment and, just for knowledge and education. And these people work amongst us and they don't even, some of them are health vegans, or some of them eat Popeyes every day. You would never know. And they don't catch colds, they don't catch flus. Some of them still have unprotected sex, and they don't, because their levels are that low. They've had medication to keep HIV, levels and virus tactile low for so long. I mean, look at Magic Johnson. I hate to use him as an example of, to bring this back up, but homeboy had AIDS for like all of like a year, and then we never heard of it again. And everybody was scared that something was going to happen to him. Now, nobody's to not say that he still is not living with disease, or, that it's not livable. But at the same time, he was the prime example, to show that it was, livable, to go on without it. So I think they did have the cure for years. I mean, has Corona or COVID, brought up like why the fuck in that right? I completely believe in what you're saying, and I agree. That since they've been able to come up with this so-called vaccination so long, what has been the issue with them dragging their feet with everything else? But at the same time,
I mean, just to put out there the information, not that we got to go deep or talk about it, but there was a rumor that I heard. I'm gonna just leave it as a rumor that Magic Johnson actually went to Dr. Sebi and got his treatment for HIV, which he's claimed to have cured plenty of times, and even went to court for it. And the only reason he can't say he couldn't say nothing about it was because obviously the medical, yeah, I mean the amount of it's so they make so much money off the treatment of diseases that it's actually understandable for them to to have as their number one priority that when it comes to treatment, you gotta come see them for the treatment. And if somebody else is coming up with a treatment that's a natural, holistic approach that doesn't involve their their drugs, I can see where it's like, yo, that nigga gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So I heard that he did go to Dr. Sebi for treatment. That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is, but that rumor was out a couple of years ago that I heard.
All right, I'm gonna put a pin in that. I'm not even gonna